Manipulation, alleged assault, a systematic cover-up, and almost 400 pages of records. This is everything about the pressure situation. If you disagree with anything I say here, leave a comment. I'm always happy to admit when I'm wrong. Communication is an open door. Doors. Roblox Doors is a game where you open doors. With 7.3 billion visits, that's almost the entire population of the Earth, by the way, Doors is one of the biggest games on the platform, and Roblox is filled with copycats. Pressure is a game where you open doors, but this time, it's underwater. And over the span of 2 years, it amassed a respectable 458 million visits. But on April 8th, 2026, Ren posted what Zeal did to Ren at Roblox Developer Conference 2025. It presents a timeline of events spanning 3 months, 250 pages, and I know if you're watching me, you don't have the attention span for that. Our story begins with Ren, the composer of Pressure's soundtrack. She was once part of the original 7. She quit. More on that later. She cut off all contact with Zeal, the lead developer of Pressure, in June. We will never have to dance again, Klaus.
Hello.
That's right, no contact lasted a whopping 2 months. And while things seemed okay between them, this story gets a lot darker the deeper you go. Zeal sends 2 bunnies lying on top of each other. This is sexual and manipulative, even though she does the same thing multiple times with no comments. Regardless, they normalize the sort of cutesy back and forth. I'm gonna pick you up and kick you around. Okay. This is not consent. I can carry you on my back, arms, wherever. Can we do that, please? Please. This is not consent. I'm gonna meet you and pick you up and throw you around. You may do that. I like being picked up and— Yeah, okay, you get the point. When they eventually met in person, Zeal did exactly that, picking her up on the sidewalk and twirling her around. There was no greeting. There was no question. No question? Can we do that, please? By September 3rd, 2 days after first contact, Zeal, Ren, and 2 friends are hanging out in a hotel lobby when the 2 friends leave momentarily. Alone, Zeal asks about Ren's employment, which triggers her to cry. Me too, man. Zeal positions her head in his lap and brushes her hair, which Ren says deepens the sense of intimacy and dependency. The 4 of them eventually go on a microcenter date before splitting up for the night. Zeal says he has to go work on an update for his game, or whatever it is developers do at a developer conference, but Ren still wanted to talk about what happened in the lobby. Can we, continue talking about, stuff? Because I started crying and stuff in the lobby, kinda just inappropriate. What stuff? Work and friends and what happened and stuff, but IRL, because it's just better and more normal. Like what? Never mind, it's nothing really. Why? What's up? Nothing, it's okay. I withdrew. The bunny photos came back. That was the only language this relationship was allowed to feel safe in. But later that night, Ren's emotional state collapsed. Adjustments and medication, feelings she'd been carrying for years, everything came out suddenly and she broke down. In her moment of need, Zeal asks if he should come over. Ren responds, I'd like that, followed by her room number. This is where the alleged assault takes place. If that makes you uncomfortable, you can skip to the timestamp on screen. Zeal shows up at Ren's room freshly showered. He assures her that it's okay, grabbing her and lifting her into the air before setting her down gently onto the bed. He held her as she vented everything, shifting their position a couple times, which he didn't fully register. After an hour and a half of screaming, venting, and crying, Zeal pinned her arms above her head and forced a kiss on her. He forcibly undressed her and touched her, to which she said it hurts. This made him stop, only to resume after forcing his fingers into her mouth. Once again, she said it hurts, so he stopped and said, well, I guess we're just not that into each other. In a panic, she tried to appease him, so he undressed. She said no, don't, so he put his clothes back on. She backpedaled and said it was okay, so he undressed again. What followed was rushed and messy as she felt coerced into appeasing him. He turned my pain into rejection. He used my fear of abandonment to make me comply. By the time it was over and he realized what he'd done, he panicked and rushed her into the shower to wash the evidence off. He got dressed in a hurry, running out and saying, well, can't wait for the Google Doc in 5 years. If that wasn't bad enough, he had the audacity to say, well, that just happened. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. You are so lovely. I mean, I fantasized about you multiple times. I had never fantasized about Zeal. That was a lie. Here's the thing, I haven't been entirely honest with you either. The document we've read from so far has been an archived version. The original was taken down. We are working on a revised edition that serves to clarify what happened. Essentially, they're removing bloat and adding testimonies from more people affected by Zeal. It's here I want to introduce an N-word that Twitter hates more than the hard R.
Oh, really?
Nuance. This is because Zeal released his response from the hospital after attempting suicide, titled Additional Context and Clarification Regarding Recent Allegations, where Zeal completely denies ever assaulting her. He didn't force a kiss on her, she asked for one, something she admits to later on. He showered beforehand because of the hot California weather. After all, he could have never anticipated that she would even text him. From Zeal's perspective, the tone is entirely different. Ren said no only after I'd taken my clothes off. No was said in a laughingly embarrassed tone. I covered up immediately regardless, as this was not something I wanted to proceed with if unconsensual. Both of their documents are in agreement that he stopped every time she told him to stop and continued every time she told him to continue. But at the same time, Ren has to explain, you don't touch and do stuff without my permission. You gotta ask. This is left out of Zeal's document. Why leave that out? out. That's a pretty big glaring issue. You know what Zeal does address? He lay in front of me and said, "Welp, this is my penis."
I did not say, "Welp, this is my penis."
Ultimately, you have a he said, she said, creating a nuanced and confusing situation. If only there was a magic word that could wave away all that nuance. Let me introduce you to fawning, a trauma response, people-pleasing to survive. I had been doing it for months without knowing it. By September 3rd, it was automatic. In other words, she was trauma responding months before the trauma because he's a dry texter. So while the fawning is questionable at best, it does conveniently mean that every time she sends him the green light to continue, it's because she was fawning, while every time that he acts on that green light, it's because he's the devil. I hope you're okay. I really did enjoy this. You didn't do anything wrong. I'm gonna go sleep now. Good night. Are you still awake? I'm sorry I couldn't make you feel good. You're a good guy. Most first times go like this, so don't feel ashamed. You're good. 8 hours later, he responds, "It's okay." I'm sending reassurance into a silence he chooses not to break for hours. I have been trained through this entire encounter to retract anything that might make him uncomfortable. 8 hours of silence after he said goodnight. Masterful manipulation or sleeping. Call it. They end up planning a second time together. Maybe if you buy some protection, we can try again tonight. Okay, but I don't know how to buy those. You might have to do that. I do not express desire or anticipation. I say okay, then create friction. Zeal clarifies, it did not occur to me that okay was meant to mean no. Their second encounter ends with markings left on Ren's neck. She claims they were unconsensual. Zeal claims they were. Again, he said, she said. Ren omits the part where she brags about them to a friend and tells Zeal, wearing your hickeys loud and proud today, not telling anyone where I got them. Part of my fit. By the night of the Roblox Innovation Awards, things deteriorated once again. Zeal knows I have BPD. He engineered a situation that he knew would trigger me. I made threats, but I am small. The threats were empty. This engineered situation, paired with other stresses from the day, pushed her to make an attempt on her life. The problem is, she completely omits everything that leads up to this moment. You might recall earlier, she said, don't worry, I won't tell anyone. She says if this was consensual, why would I need to promise secrecy, even though keeping your private life private isn't an insane request. You might also recall that she was bragging about it to her friends. Dude, I'm being told you're telling people, can you stop? That was meant to be private, I'm being told it's 5 people now. Who told you I told? Who is it? I'm not saying that, but you're making them uncomfortable. I'll deal with this, I can figure who it is now. I explicitly told you not to tell others about it, and you tell them. I'll deal with it. I don't want to talk to you anymore. You've broken my trust, I can't trust you now. F my life, F my life, F, I'm going to kill him, I'm going to kill him, I'm going to kill him. It wasn't blank. I'm coming for the guy right now, they won't let me in, I'll effing find him, security stopped me. I know it's not blank, you said it's not blank, so I'm sitting out waiting. Once he leaves, I'm killing him. I don't give an S if they deport me, I don't give an S if I get arrested, I don't give an F if anything happens. None of this is present in her document. All of it is explained away with a he engineered a situation he knew would trigger me. After RDC, they flew back to their respective countries and proceeded to explicitly text a bunch on Twitter. I don't mind, personally, I'd spend anything to see you again. If we meet up, it can only be a one-time thing, because mentally, I don't want to have a long-term, long-distance relationship. We're 22, we're young. Whatever is happening between us doesn't sound like it could happen with others. We've both survived so much to reach this point, and fearing this is kinda stupid in comparison to what we went through on both ends. Man up. This isn't even the first time that he set the boundary saying that he doesn't want a relationship with her, but she basically goes, that's stupid, man up, and then frames it as reassurance. This isn't even the first time that she's completely disregarded boundaries. Remember when I said, she quit. More on that later. It's time I go over that. Ren was invited to another Roblox event to show off the music she made for Pressure, but she didn't have the blessing of the team because, you guessed it, manipulation, specifically by someone named Kat. I walked away from Pressure's future, but now I'm nothing to them. You aren't nothing, but you quit in such an insultingly weird and unprofessional way. In Kat's words, I don't necessarily love the idea of Ren still trying to use the game. It rubs me the wrong way. Ren says Zeal mentally abused her, yelled at her, the whole team drained her, when the worst she did was lose it in chat. Again, she leaves out anything that might make her look bad. I leaked your entire soundtrack, B-word, F you, I did it on effing purpose, I hope you wish death upon me, effing stupid, effing B. Ren says, I denied the soundtrack accusation. That is how this works. The accusation does not have to be true. Kat put it in the story, the team remembered it. She leaves out the part where she admits to leaking it. This repeated behavior led to her being blocked by most of the development team. They set a boundary. They didn't want to talk to her in private. So when she approached them in public at RDC, it's not surprising that they said she was harassing them. It's nice that she wanted to apologize, but they have no obligation to talk to her, yet she claims she's been separated from them through no clear fault of her own. F you, I did it on effing purpose, I hope you If you burn bridges, don't be surprised when you can't cross them. Manipulation or consequences. Call it. In the days that followed, their friendship deteriorated. Zeal employs gray rocking, a cursed technique where you act unresponsive and uninterested to encourage disengagement with difficult people. The thing is, he goes on to say, you can continue to goon to me if you wish. If you're distancing yourself, why in the world would you keep a door open, especially one that's sexually charged? By October, they cut contact fully. I'm so sick of constantly being painted as the bad guy for telling friends I did something that felt really nice. I feel disgusting in my body. I feel disgusting I let someone this crappy touch me. You can pause here if you want to read all that. Currently, the narrative is a mess. Zeal and Ren themselves haven't helped much either, with Zeal joining Ren's public Discord, which tossed fuel on the fire, while Ren is saying things like, so many people are manipulating me and you to question the narrative. Is the sky blue? Yes. But is it really?
Vsauce. Michael.
Yes. It doesn't matter how many times you question the truth. If it's the truth, it will still be the truth. We've already seen multiple cases where seemingly damning accusations turned out to be false.
My dog stepped on a bee.
Take Inquisitor Ghost, a cosplayer accused of being attracted to minors who ended his own life, only for those accusations to be false after more context arose. Believing victims is part of the first step of the legal process, not a replacement for it. Don't get me wrong, if Zeal's guilty, turn that peen is to a peen was. But as of right now, we don't know that, and the blind hatred that follows allegations can and already has cost innocent lives. Twitter's treating it like some sort of sports rivalry. You've got the Zealots versus the Renegades, or if you're really crazy, Zeal Rayleys. This has created an absolute clown show where people don't even care about the truth anymore. If you question anything, it's because you support and you're just mad your favorite game is gone. Take it from Ren herself. This mindset helps you avoid engaging with any valid criticism. It's called ignorance, and the cure is the truth. Zeal never admitted to SA. He admitted to being bad at sex in his suicide note. All we have to go off of is Ren's word versus Zeal's. The length of Ren's 200-page document does not equal its validity. In fact, most of her evidence only works when you have her on your shoulder telling you this is manipulation, and this is manipulation, and oh yeah, they hated me for no reason. It took 8 days for Zeal to release a document from scratch filled with additional context and messages Ren omitted. It's been a month since Ren released her initial document, and even though she's promised a new one, that's yet to be seen. Each update shrinks the list of promises. Initially, it was removing bloat and adding additional victim testimony. Now it's not that different from the original since new stuff won't magically appear. And here's the worst part. Time benefits Ren. In a court of law, it's a matter of innocent until proven guilty, but in a court of public opinion, it's guilty until proven innocent. That fact is pretty glaring if you go to Zeal's initial post acknowledging the allegations. Every single comment is telling him that he is guilty and that he should end it all. And the longer that Ren stalls, the more we get people like this.
I genuinely don't understand why people nitpick everything Ren says. The pressure drama should have been over weeks ago.
People don't care, or worse, don't want clarification. Ren doesn't have to say anything at all. Even if her document is full of holes and omissions, the damage is done. The guilty verdict was delivered before Zeal even opened his mouth. I'm not saying he's entirely innocent either. Why did Zeal think that someone who just had a breakdown was in any position to do anything intimate? Why does Zeal crop out the part where Ren explains consent to him? Why does Zeal try to distance himself only to say, you can still goon to me? Now, I'm not a judge, but you want to know who is? A judge. Even if they're from different countries, the alleged crime happened in California, meaning you could take legal action in the US. Thanks to territorial jurisdiction, I can't just fly to Burkina Faso and beat the crap out of someone then run back to the US. You're still subject to the laws of the country you're in, even if you're not from there. And if money is the problem, you could start a GoFundMe and have a pretty solid foundation within days. I mean, even your most vocal critics have sworn to give you money to help you get justice. This $500,000 to $1 million cost? I'm pretty sure that's the settlement you'd have to pay if you lose. With so many question marks, so many omissions, and everything hinging on a he said, she said, there's really only one solution. Take it to court. Everything in this video is alleged. Please don't sue me.
Looks like I don't have a future.